Shabbat Shalom from Temple Concord. This week we read Parshat Maseh, which is the last in the book of Numbers, which means that in a matter of weeks now, high holidays are coming. In this Torah portion, we learn about the boundaries of biblical Israel, and they're boundaries that never really existed. And in fact, the fighting over the boundaries, as you well know, continues to this day. In all of that, though, there's the question of the ideal, what we would all love to have if we could have our druthers, and the reality. And in many ways, the current conflict is about that discord between the ideal and what's really possible. From the Jewish perspective, from the Israeli perspective, the ideal is for Jews and Muslims to live in harmony with each other. And whether it means one state or two state can sort of be left up in the air, but to figure out a way to do it. The hard part is that Hamas, who's behind the current difficulties in Gaza, is saying that their ideal is to have no Jew walk the earth. And those of us who are supporters of Israel can't live with that, because our right to live isn't up for debate. It's part of who we are. And it's why Hamas needs to be seen internationally, and certainly here at home, as the terrorist organization that it is, and as the anti-Semitic organization that it is. Because their worldview isn't an ideal of working and living in harmony. Their worldview is an ideal of them ruling everybody. Now, it doesn't mean that Israel's always been right in how they've responded. It doesn't mean that Israel hasn't made mistakes. It has. And it doesn't mean that all Palestinians are bad, because on the contrary, overwhelmingly the majority of them are good. What it means is that a radical fringe within them has allowed Hamas to take control. And that becomes the problem. In Israel, sometimes the radical fringe has taken them too far, and we've gone too far in building settlements or this or that or the other. So neither side is unique in that regard. Both have to deal with their radical elements and bringing them in. But the Torah portion reminds us there is this ideal worldview of what the boundaries could be and maybe should be. And then there's the reality. There's the sense of what we can live with and how we can actually pursue peace. And my prayer on this Shabbat is that we turn back from the ideal to the real and figure out a way to be pragmatic so that the Palestinians who are supporting Hamas can see that it's better to have their children live and Israeli children live than to have both of them dead. And so that Israel can see that Israel is better off having a peaceful Palestinian neighbor than constantly fighting. This is the pragmatic view that we need to pursue. And our Torah portion teaches us as much when it says, here are the ideal borders, now figure out a way to live even though the ideal might not be possible. Services this Friday evening will be at 6 o'clock here at the temple. Next Friday evening will be the next in our outdoor series. We'll be at Onondaga Lake Park in the Willow Bay Shelter, and we'll be having fried chicken for dinner. The following week we'll be at Temple Adith, joining together with Adith and Beth Shalom in a community-wide Shabbat service. Then the following week we'll be at the JCC. We also have Tisha B'Av coming up, which is the saddest day on the Hebrew calendar, and it's the day that marks the destruction of both the first and the second temples. That's Monday, August 5th in the evening. The service will begin at 8 o'clock. And on Thursday, August 7th, we'll have Temple Concord Night at the Chiefs. Our cantor, Kari Siegel-Eglash, will be singing the national anthem, which is exciting. And they're trying to talk a certain somebody into throwing out the opening pitch. And I'm not quite sure if my throw will make it there or not, but we're going to at least try and have a little fun along the way. So for now, I hope you're having a great summer. I hope you're joining with me in prayers for peace for Israel and for the Palestinians, and prayers that we can figure out a way to live together, respect each other, and move forward so that the killing and the death stops, and a new wave of growth and living together can ensue. Shabbat Shalom. Look forward to seeing you at the temple.